The war happening right now. Not the kind you see on the news. Not with bombs, bullets, or soldiers. But a silent war, far more dangerous. A war for your attention. For your energy. For your destiny. Every vibration in the modern world is designed to pull you away from yourself. Your phone buzzes with someone else's agenda. Notifications scream louder than your intuition. Advertisements whisper lies to your subconscious, convincing you that you're not enough unless you chase more, scroll more, buy more. And somewhere in the chaos, the voice of your own power, your own clarity, goes quiet. But make no mistake. The difference between greatness and mediocrity is not talent. It is not luck. It is not privilege. It is focus. Ruthless, unrelenting, deliberate focus. Because in a distracted world, focus is a superpower. Think about this. Thomas Edison wasn't smarter than you. He simply refused to stop. While others quit at failure number 5, he kept going through 10,000 attempts. He didn't dabble. He didn't bounce. He focused. Andrew Carnegie wasn't born with a silver spoon. But he locked his mind onto the steel industry with such intensity that he reshaped the infrastructure of an entire nation. Walt Disney didn't create magic because he hoped it would happen. He focused so completely on a vision no one else could see that even bankruptcy, betrayal, and rejection couldn't shake it loose from his hands. And that's what we forget. Success is not complex, it's elimination. It's cutting the noise until only the mission remains. It's the ability to say, "This is what I was born to do. And I will not stop until it breathes." You don't need to do more. You need to master less. Right now, most people live in a state of constant partial attention. Their bodies are in one place, but their minds are scattered in 100. Their dreams are diluted by distractions they've confused for obligations. They start the morning with ambition and end it buried in YouTube, inboxes, opinions, and dopamine. Not you. Not anymore. You weren't built to be average. You were designed to become a weapon. But a weapon without aim is useless. Your power is real, but only if it's channeled. You see, your mind is like a lens. And without focus, the light scatters. But focus that light into a laser, and it cuts through steel. That's what ruthless focus is. It's cutting through steel, the steel of doubt, of distraction, of fear, of failure. It's forging a life so intentional that everything else either aligns with your mission or gets destroyed by it. You want to build wealth? Don't chase 10 ideas. Find one, master it, and pour your soul into it until it bends the world to your will. You want to find purpose? Stop waiting for clarity to strike like lightning. Pick something, commit, and build clarity through action. You want to change your body? Then stop scrolling, start sweating, and show up when it's hard. Because no result ever came from a half-hearted decision. Focus is the filter between mediocrity and mastery. And the moment you decide to reclaim it, everything changes. Let's get one thing straight. Focus isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional. The busiest people are often the most unfocused, running from one fire to the next, exhausted but going nowhere. They confuse movement with progress, urgency with importance. But the masters, the ones who build empires, write history, and shake the world awake, they move with purpose. They know that every yes is a no to 100 other things. So they choose wisely, ruthlessly. If it doesn't serve the mission, it doesn't belong in their life. That's not cold. That's discipline. That's clarity. Because when the vision is strong enough, the distractions become irrelevant. Think of Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player the world has ever seen. He didn't get there by trying everything. He focused. He practiced when no one was watching. He built routines so brutal they broke lesser men. And he didn't care about being liked, he cared about being legendary. Now ask yourself, do you want to be liked? Or do you want to be remembered? Do you want to fit in? Or do you want to stand out? Because you can't have both. Focus demands sacrifice. It will ask you to walk away from comfort, from convenience, from the shallow approval of people who don't understand your hunger. But here's the truth no one tells you. The more focused your life becomes, the freer you are. When your path is clear, your energy becomes a force. You don't waste it on drama, on distractions, on dead-end relationships. You move like a storm, deliberate, unapologetic, and unshakable. And people will feel it. They will wonder how you're doing so much while appearing so calm. They'll call you lucky. They'll call you gifted. They'll say, "I wish I had what you have." But they won't see the cost. The long nights. The brutal discipline. The moments you chose vision over validation. They won't see how many things you said no to so you could say yes to your future. But you will know. And your results will speak so loudly, you won't have to. And let's talk about belief, because without it, focus is fragile. You can only sustain focus when you believe your mission matters. When you believe that your life means something. That what you are building will exist long after you're gone. That belief, that sacred obsession, is what makes you unstoppable. It's what drove Martin Luther King Jr. to march when it was dangerous. It's what made Elon Musk risk his entire fortune on rockets that kept exploding. It's what made Oprah keep showing up when every door was slammed in her face. They weren't dabbling. They were possessed by a vision. They didn't just want it, they had to bring it to life. That is ruthless focus. It's not just a tool, it's a way of being. It says, I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how long it takes. This is who I am now. And once that becomes your identity, distractions lose their power. Let others waste their potential chasing every trend, comparing themselves to everyone else, losing months and years to meaningless activity. But not you. You are here to master your craft, to own your path, to build something eternal with your bare hands. You are not here to entertain your limitations. You are here to obliterate them. So ask yourself, right now, what are you committed to? Not interested in. Not curious about, but committed to. Because focus without commitment is a lie. Commitment means doing it when it's hard. When no one's clapping. When motivation is gone and all that's left is you, your grit, and the reason you started. And the truth is, most people never tap into this power. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They flirt with greatness, but they never marry it. They touch their potential, but they never claim it. They let the world pull them in every direction but their own. But you're done chasing. You're done reacting. You're done living like a candle in the wind. From this moment forward, you move with ruthless focus. With intentions so fierce that distractions wither in your presence. And if you stay the course, if you eliminate the noise, master the moment, and feed your vision daily, there will come a time when the world has no choice but to pay attention. Clarity is not a gift. It's a decision. And it doesn't come from overthinking, overplanning, or waiting for perfect timing. It comes from movement. From choosing a direction with conviction and learning while in motion. You see, the people we call visionaries, Ford, Jobs, Bezos, Mandela, they didn't wait until everything was certain. They moved before it made sense to others. They didn't have all the answers. They had clarity of intent. That's the power of a focused life. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And you start asking, what if I become the kind of person who makes it work? Because it's never really about the strategy. It's about the standard. Clarity is about who you are becoming. It's saying, I am not available for excuses anymore. I am only available for the version of me that dominates life. Picture a lion in the wild. It doesn't chase every animal in sight. It waits. It locks in. It focuses. When it moves with certainty, purpose, precision. Not frantic. Not desperate. Intentional. That's how your focus should feel. Not rushed. Not reactive. But fueled by a vision so clear, it burns away everything that isn't aligned with it. And that vision, it doesn't live on a vision board. It lives in your habits. In your decisions. In what you say yes to when no one's watching. You want to know your real vision? Look at your calendar. Look at your screen time. Look at what you do when you're tired. Because that's your true focus. Not what you say you want, but what you tolerate. It's easy to declare a big dream. It's rare to architect a life around it. Because that requires saying no. That requires missing out. That requires becoming unavailable for distractions that masquerade as balance. You weren't born for balance. You were born for greatness. And greatness isn't found in comfort zones. It's found in devotion. Now let's talk about purpose. Purpose isn't found in silence. It's forged in the fire of doing. Too many people are stuck trying to discover their purpose, like it's a lottery ticket buried under the sand. But purpose is not found, it's built. You start where you are, with what you have. You take the pain, the passion, the scars, the curiosity, and you move. You serve yourself. You build something that matters. And somewhere along the path, something begins to shift. You stop asking what life owes you. You start asking what you're here to give. That's when you become dangerous. That's when your focus evolves into something bulletproof. Because now you're not chasing money. You're not chasing attention. You're chasing impact. And when you live for impact, distractions become laughable. You don't argue with critics. You don't shrink for comfort. You don't explain your obsession. You protect it. You honor it. You bleed for it if you must. Discipline is the architecture of focus. You don't get the life you dream about. You get the life you build standards around. And standards don't rise because you feel inspired. They rise because you've decided that your future is worth more than your feelings. Discipline is when you show up tired. Discipline is when you work through the silence. Discipline is when no one is watching, and you do it anyway. You think Lincoln became great through convenience? He read books by firelight, slept 4 hours, led a nation through war and moral collapse, and never used any of it as an excuse. You think Carnegie or Rockefeller or Jobs waited for the perfect morning routine? They outfocused the world. They said, this is the mission. This is the standard. Everything else gets crushed. Your greatness will not arrive politely. It must be forged, in discomfort, in repetition, in ruthless focus. Now let's be clear, focus isn't about being a machine. It's about being awake. Because when you're truly focused, you see things others miss. You catch the opportunity no one's paying attention to. You feel the subtle pull of your intuition guiding you through chaos. That's why the focused man walks differently. He's not hurried. He's not desperate. He's locked in. His energy is sacred. His time is accounted for. His mission is personal. You want to change your life? Then start by owning your morning. Because if you lose the morning, you lose the day. And if you lose the day, you lose momentum. The morning is the arena where focus is trained. It's the hour where you declare your priorities before the world declares them for you. It's not about being a morning person, it's about being a person who honors what matters. No, you don't need the perfect routine. But you need a ritual that reminds you who the hell you are. You need space to think. Time to move. A moment to reconnect with your vision before the chaos hijacks your mind. Because once you let the world in, it's hard to hear your own voice. So guard the morning like it's your most precious asset. Because it is. Here's the truth, focus will cost you. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you friendships that were built on mediocrity. It will cost you the illusion of balance. But what you gain is so much greater. You gain mastery. You gain fulfillment. You gain the deep soul-level confidence that only comes from honoring your calling without compromise. And the world? It will test you. It will tempt you. It will try to convince you to spread yourself thin, to be like everyone else, to keep things safe. But you weren't made for safety. You were made to build, to create, to leave this world different because you walked through it. And that only happens when you live with ruthless focus. Let's make it real. Close your eyes. Think of the one thing, just one, that if you focused on it with every fiber of your being, could change your life in the next 6 months. What is it? Is it your body? Your business? Your book? Your mindset? Now ask yourself, why haven't you done it yet? What have you given your energy to instead? Because every day you delay, the cost compounds. Every minute you waste, someone else is sharpening their edge. But if you decide, right now, to lock in, to cut the noise, to put everything you have into that one thing, there is no force on earth that can stop you. Not your past. Not your circumstances. Not your fears. Because when you move with ruthless focus, the universe responds. Doors open. People notice. And you become magnetic. Not because of luck, but because of alignment. You're not meant to be average. You're not here to dabble. You're not here to coast. You're here to dominate. to own your space, to plant your flag in the ground and say, "This is my life, and I refuse to waste it." You don't need a new strategy. You need a deeper level of commitment. You need to say, "This is who I am now. This is what I do, and nothing will pull me away from it." That's focus. That's power. That's where transformation begins. Resilience is the armor of the focused mind. Because the moment you commit, life will push back. It will throw storms at your vision. It will test your resolve in silence and setbacks. But hear this, adversity doesn't mean you're off course, it means you're on it. Every champion, every leader, every builder of empires has stared down failure, not once, but over and over again. Ford's early businesses collapsed. Disney was told he lacked imagination. Beethoven lost his hearing. Mandela lost 27 years of his freedom. But they didn't lose focus. Because resilience isn't just endurance, it's focus under fire. It's waking up on the worst day of your life and still taking the next step. It's saying, "I didn't come this far to fold now." And when you walk through the storm focused, something happens. You begin to trust yourself. You stop needing applause to feel worthy. You stop waiting for the world to validate your work. Because when you know your mission, your pain becomes fuel. Your losses become lessons. Your scars become stories that shape nations. But even in the fire, you must remain flexible. Because life will not unfold according to your blueprint. You will have to pivot. You will have to adapt. You will have to outlast what was supposed to break you. That's why adaptability is the secret weapon of the focused. They don't collapse when the plan changes. They evolve. Bruce Lee said it best. Be like water. Water doesn't resist. It molds, it moves, it cuts through mountains and outlasts stone. Be water with a direction. Flow, but never lose your shape. Bend, but never break your mission. That's the paradox of ruthless focus. It's firm in purpose but fluid in execution. And through it all, never forget gratitude. Because while focus sharpens your edge, gratitude protects your soul. It reminds you that the journey is the gift. That discipline is a privilege. That the ability to pursue your purpose at all means you are already blessed beyond measure. Gratitude is not weakness, it is fuel. Because when you can find joy in the process, when you can wake up hungry and still thankful, you become unshakable. The world can't rattle a soul that sees everything as a lesson. It can't distract a heart that's anchored in purpose. It can't seduce someone who already feels whole inside. So yes, move with intensity, but move with reverence. Know that every second you get to breathe, build, and focus is a sacred opportunity. And now we arrive at the final truth. Legacy. Because all this, your work, your energy, your grind, it's not just about you. It's about what remains when you're gone. Every time you choose focus over comfort, every time you rise when others fold, every time you build instead of complain, you are carving your name into eternity. Not with money, not with fame, but with impact. Your children will feel it. Your community will feel it. The world may never know your name, but it will move differently because of your presence. That is legacy, not what you accumulate, but what you activate in others. And that only happens when your life is lived on purpose, with focus so fierce it becomes contagious. So this is your line in the sand. Your moment. Right now. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more bouncing from idea to idea like a leaf in the wind. From this day forward, you move like a storm. You protect your mind like gold. You say no like your future depends on it, because it does. You rise early. You cut the noise. You trade distraction for destiny. And you build a life so focused, so locked in, that regret never finds its way to your door. This isn't hype. This isn't fluff. This is war. And the battlefield is your mind. So sharpen your sword. Silence the noise. And fight like your future depends on it, because it does. You were not made to coast. You were not made to settle. You were made to dominate. With intention. With discipline. With vision. With power. And above all, with ruthless, relentless, unshakable focus.